Hi there, beautiful people. Great to have you back in the hive. It's great to be back with you. Hope you're doing well and staying warm, fit and healthy. And to make sure your sustainability game fit, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and maybe check out some of our back catalogue of educational and helpful videos. So we recently explored the veritable rainbow of hydrogens, with different colours referring to the production method or original energy source used. You can check that one out right here. One of the most heavily promoted options is blue hydrogen. Governments and energy companies, fossil fuel companies specifically, are spending heaps of cash to frame blue hydrogen as our ticket to limitless and sustainable energy. But is there a catch? Well, the downfall is actually the lack of catch. Blue hydrogen is named such due to the capture and storage of the CO2, which is the byproduct of the steam methane reformation production process used in grey hydrogen production, where the energy source is methane, sometimes called natural gas or fossil gas. But carbon capture and storage, or CCS, has faced many questions about its efficacy and ability to be scaled over the decades. And a recent report from Global Witness underlines those questions in permanent marker. Shell's Scotford Petrochemicals and Tar Sands Oil Complex in Alberta, Canada, has a CCS facility attached called Quest. It's this add-on, which opened in 2015, which is at the centre of the scathing report. Shell have been strongly advocating blue hydrogen, saying that Quest proves CCS is a, quote, safe and effective measure to reduce CO2 emissions, end quote. They also cleverly use the term clean hydrogen when referring to either blue or green hydrogen production, despite blue hydrogen not being especially clean at all. So thankfully, Global Witness have investigated. One of Shell's claims is that Quest in only 5 years has safely captured and stored 5 million tonnes of carbon dioxide. That's a big number in anyone's book. But it's not the full story. Global Witness discovered this is less than half of the emissions from the plant in the same length of time. Industry lobbyists purport that fossil hydrogen plants can capture over 90% of the emissions from their operation. In fact, Shell state that their CCS facilities, which use CANSOLVE technology, prevent over 99% of the CO2 emissions from their low-pressure post-combustion flue gas. But Quest produced 7.5 million tonnes of CO2 in addition to the 5 million which were captured. So this equates to only 48% of emissions being stopped from hitting our atmosphere. But even that isn't the full story, because that figure excludes the methane pollution from extracting and transporting the gas. Once those are calculated, the efficacy of Quest's emissions prevention drops to a paltry 39%. In real terms, that's 4.81 out of 12.44 million tonnes of greenhouse gases being captured. While not making these figures public, it seems that Shell is aware that there's a gap between their claims and reality. So they are investing heavily and seeking external investment to improve their CCS facility. They've stated they may try to increase the capture to 90% of emissions at Quest. But again, this leaves out some important facts. The most frightening is that the hydrogen produced will carry on being used to refine fossil fuels. And while the investment is clearly still required, it should be noted that the cost of Quest sits at $1 billion US, with an eye-watering 654 million of that from government subsidies. Another recent study has also disputed the cleanliness of blue hydrogen, finding that it had only 9 to 12% lower emissions than grey hydrogen production. And while that is still lower overall GHG emissions, fugitive methane emissions alone were higher for blue hydrogen. This second paper also questions the basis for CCS, being that it can store carbon indefinitely, which is unproven, and even suggests that the emissions from blue hydrogen are 20% larger than when burning natural gas or coal for heat, and 60% larger than using diesel oil specifically for heat. Luckily, in 2017, an independent body called the Hydrogen Council was formed. This global CEO-led initiative has, I quote, a united vision and long-term ambition for hydrogen to foster the clean energy transition for a better, more resilient future, end quote. So there'll be a peer-reviewed, Pardon? Okay, so founding members include British Petroleum, Shell and Total Energies. Okay. Oh, other members are SoCal Gas, Hyundai, Engie, Honda, EDF, Equinor, Kogas, Siemens Energy, Indian Oil, Tokyo Gas, Fortescue, Woodside, Enbridge Gas, General Motors. Whew, the list goes on. And it's a curious list indeed. So the bottom line is this. When your local or federal government start promoting blue hydrogen and CCS technology as our way out of the climate crisis, be sure to take it with a grain or cupful of salt. And next time you see the fossil fuel industry making promises of leading us into a sustainable and happy future, be prepared to ask some questions and do some digging. We know that tech will help us navigate the next challenging decade, but it's naive to think tech can do all the work while we carry on as normal and not make any changes to lifestyle or behaviour or voting habits. We hope that you found this enlightening, swarmers. Don't despair. For every less than wholly allegedly independent group of people aiming to steer us through the climate crisis while growing their own interests exponentially, there is also a group of genuine and unbiased activists who you can join or support. Thank you for all you're doing to be more sustainable and keeping the discussion around climate science and the climate crisis honest. We love and appreciate you, swarmers. Take care. See you next time.